Hello, televiewers. Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Prime R on My Media Prime. In this edition of the program, we are going to be looking at how to make our lives better, how to make the best choices in life, and as far as career is concerned, so that we can live fulfilled destinies for ourselves, for our families, and also to make our communities better. We are going to be discussing this with experts in the domain of guiding people to the best destinies possible. And in the program we have Mr. Teke Samuel, who is the founder CEO of Tex Global, and also Shep Academy and a chain of businesses. We're glad to have you once again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jonas. I'm happy to be here.
How is Tex Global?
Yeah, everything is fine. We're moving well. We're pushing stronger and harder.
And the Shep Academy?
Yeah, all the business are doing well.
Okay. And Boya, City of Legendary Hospitality. Sure.
Beautiful as usual. Yeah.
Okay. We also are in the studio with Mr. Buji Liansin. He is the marketing director for Tex Global. We're glad to have you also.
It's my pleasure.
How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
It's wonderful to be on stage with my boss.
Okay, I don't know whether Miss Lee, she's coming?
Yes, she's very close.
Okay, Miss Lee is going to be joining us. But in the course of the program today, we are going to discuss with the guys of Fror International. They're going to tell us about the nursing opportunities out there in the UK. Many persons would want to try their hands as far as nursing is concerned out there. So you guys have been reaching out to me. I thought that they should come again and tell us about the program so that you can fully get it and possibly get to talk with them. Mr. Teke, we are talking about making life and career choices. How important is this aspect in the life of an individual?
Well, this is very important because that is what is going to decide how happy or how sad you will be for the rest of your life.
Okay.
This is because my own way of looking at career is actually something that carry you or pushes you in doing the activities that you're actually doing. So if you choose the wrong career or make the wrong choices in life, it can decide whether you are going to be happy for the rest of your life or you are going to be sad for the rest of your life. So this is very important. In choosing a career for your life, you need to take your time, you need to ask for counsel, you need to do a whole lot of research before you can actually make that decision.
Many persons may just think that when they say making life and career choices is as simple as the words themselves. It's a whole process that requires a lot of concentration and meditation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that if such things are mentioned, what the average person will actually look at is the kind of field of studies you choose while entering the university. That's what they actually look at. But if I hear those kind of words, I'm looking at the things that you can actually do that will put food on your table. A lot of people go to school and they choose career and they study in the university that has never put food on their table. So in choosing a career for yourself is not an easy thing. You need to sit down, you need to think, you need to prospect, you need to look at the future. This career I want to choose, this thing I want to do, how long is it going to last in the market? That's how I look at my own. How is it going to last in the market? If I want to do journalism, how long will journalism last in the market? Number two, what is a global perspective of this career that I want to choose? Number three, how much money can it actually bring to the table? Number four, how is it going to make me happy and make the people around me happy? So when you're choosing a career, look at how it's going to make you satisfied and how it's going to make the people around you satisfied. Because if your career cannot affect the next neighbor around you, then something is wrong. You have to rethink.
Yeah, you think that we need to take time to fathom what we want to do in life, either generally in life and not necessarily as far as our career path is concerned?
That's absolutely. Because you also need to add to what he said, you also need to think about the duration of which it would take. because what it will take you to become a police officer is not the same as you will be a medical doctor. So are you ready to go through that process? Are you ready to be patient for 7 years to have a degree? So those are things that you must consider in choosing a career. What about skills? You need to look about your soft skills and your hard skills. You also look at what you have a passion for, because as he rightly said, a career should be something that you should be happy doing. A career means, a career by definition indicates a long period of time as well as good prospects, which means that is it what you can grow in it? So unfortunately for us, there are times that we are victims of parental career choices. So I, for one, at the time, since my dad was a police officer, I used to name I would be a successor. His successor, I had to be a military man. And when you differ with that opinion, it's also a problem. So I think it's time all those things are put into consideration. A career choice is a personal decision.
Okay. Miss Lee is in the house with us. Miss Lee, when we talk of finding a career, the best careers for ourselves and a host of others, are we also talking about following our call, discovering what our call is all about?
Yes, I would rather call it discovering our purpose,
Okay.
not call per se, because everybody that God created has a purpose, has a reason for their creation. And so it's not just about getting a career, but it's all about getting fulfillment in what you are doing. And that's what many people lack, because they just get into their career with the mindset that they want to make money, but not really thinking about who is going to benefit. So following your career is more like accepting that you have a purpose, discovering that purpose, and not just discovering it, but working hard to develop it in such a way that when you start putting in the job market, as you're meeting people's needs, it's also fueling your own pocket. Yes, so the word career is very broad, but nowadays we believe that when we're talking about career, we're talking about going to school, the normal education we have in the country, and after that, getting a job that is in line with what you have learned in school. And I think that's why most youths are jobless today, because they feel like they'll give you a job, say no, I'm not into agriculture, I studied the banking. And all that.
When I get this, it means discovering what you have a passion for, identifying your vocation, and doing everything possible to fulfill it.
I think it should be learning to love what you find yourself doing.
Okay.
Because if you want to get to that level of discovery, that means you have to stay until you are really
20.
good.
You use 20 years, yeah,
to make such discovery. But just like they normally teach us when they define marriage, they said when you are married, you are forced to love the person you are married to. So when you find yourself doing a particular thing, especially when it has an impact on humanity, and you find yourself doing that, love it, do it, and do it well, you'll definitely come out with a result out of it. So you make it a career. The activities of that move should enable you to put all of your energy and impact the people around you. Like it's all about impacting destinies, not just you now, the people around you. If your choices for doing a thing on earth is about the people, you will definitely become blessed. You definitely have a successful career. So careers become successful when they are impacting lives.
Okay, we are talking about life choices, and at what age, at what level should we already start thinking of when to make what choice, especially with respects to defining our future?
Okay, I think we should take it from where we are growing. So we have different actors performing in different areas. Why we are growing, I think our parents and our teachers have a certain role to play. Looking at us, seeing how we are growing, and with experience, trying to decide the way the child is going, this child can be this child can be that. So there's a particular circle, a particular stage, we look at that. Then when you are getting to a reasonable age, 15, 16, 17, 18, you can actually say, hey, mom, I want to do this or that, I want to do this. Then your parents should also give you the liberty to choose to start practicing those things you say you want to do. When you get into above 18, then you can decide, because then you can leave your parents, then go to university and decide to abandon school and do something else. Then they won't even know. So at 18, you have the liberty to decide it on your own. But from 0 to 18, we need people to guide us. So we have to look at from 0 to 18, who is there for you, who are the actors that play. You are just like the sub-actor. The major actors are either your parents or your teachers. Are they doing their job? If they do their job very well, they're able to guide you. And lucky if you have someone that can guide you earlier, then it becomes easier for you to carry out your career without stress. But if you're unfortunate, then by the time you get to 18, you have to start figuring out, what am I supposed to do? That's where education outside the classroom becomes important. So at 15, 16, 17, we have to start figuring out, we have to start introducing our kids to start reading books that is away from the biology, from the chemistry, books that have to do with personal development, books that have to do with other things outside the four walls of the classroom. Because that is where the world is. The world is in these personal development books. But our school don't teach us that. And so we spend all of our lives learning things in the classroom, leave the classroom, come back to the street and discover that the teacher in the classroom is different from the teacher in the streets. So our parents, our teachers need to take time, teach us the street life in a modern way. Before we get to 18, it's going to be easier for us.
Now, take a typical child who is 18. You have gone past that age now.
Of course.
Share your experience. How, because I'm sure many young guys are watching us. They may be asking themselves whether they should just sit and decide because they have gone past their parents and teachers. What should be that process? You are 18, 17, and you are thinking about what should you do? How does it happen?
Well, for me and from my personal experience, because I'm a victim of choices that society made on me.
Okay.
But at one point, I started reversing those things when I was already 21. So I grew up and realized, okay, for instance, I was very good in the sciences, but I decided, since my friends were choosing arts, I actually picked on arts. The counseling sessions did not actually give us we should do what we love doing. What we love doing. So the orientation did not take place at the proper time. And that is why at the time to make a decision, I made the wrong decision. And I think we should be drilled right from secondary school. They should be drilling, at least, especially encouraging youths to choose careers that they will be happy doing, not what their parents love. So imagine I get up, I was supposed to, we know that either I'm a teacher or I am a policeman. Those are the two options that I had. When I refused, I was not going to. Okay, I wrote the police concours and failed because over 100,000 Cameroonians wrote. So even the chances were 5,000. So my dad said, okay, now the next option for you is teaching. So I told him, no, I cannot do teaching. I want to do computer engineering. He said, but computer engineering, as of now, government schools are not the one mathematics as a requirement for me to do computer engineering. So I had to decide and go for vocational training at that time. I persisted until I had the option to go to a private university that could give me that option without the requirements, though at a very high cost. So you'll see that I am a victim of the decisions that were forced on me. But it's very good that education, career education, should be something instilled right from home. And parents should actually give the children the liberty to do what they love doing.
Okay. Miss Lee, from what he's saying, I'm sure I was not a victim here because I insisted. From high school, they said you must do this, I say no. To this, you must do this, I say no. But I'm sure that many people are victims because the parents also are ignorant.
Yes, very
I think that it is also time for parents to explore what is trending in the world, the opportunities that are there, so that because they may be doing that, thinking that the only opportunities that exist are teaching, doctor, police, journalism, and I think
I actually had something like that, but mine was a little bit different in that it was more of when we're growing up, they tell us that there's some particular jobs that if you don't have in Cameroon, then it means you don't really have a job.
You are a failure.
You are a failure, yes. That's the mindset we had. And then coupled with the fact that my mom has been under the government, we were hearing things like matricle from childhood. We just knew that you should get a matricle. So everything we hear is, to date, it's always about, I think you should be under the government. It's better to be under the government.
Gives a guarantee.
Yes, it gives a guarantee. You start hearing things like, you will have to take pension and all that. If you are not the jobs you call, those type of jobs, if you're, and then mothers too, at that time, and even now, some parents do that. They just want to be addressed in one funny way, like my daughter is a doctor. I am mama doctor. My son is a lawyer. I am mama barrister. Like, you just want that name, and they feel like the title matters. Yeah, mommy father. They feel like parents are so concerned about the title they are going to get, not really necessarily focusing on, can this child be able to discuss, what does this child want to do, what's the desire, what do they have in their hearts. And it's causing a lot of troubles. There are so many students up to date. I remember when we were still in the secondary school, one time after I left the secondary school, we were called over to come talk to those who were writing. And in the course of having a talk with them, I discovered that over 70% did not know what they wanted to do. But they were already in upset, writing the exams, preparing to get into university. And you ask, like, okay, after the university, after your advanced level, what do you want to do in the university? Like, we'll just apply. You just apply where? How? To do what? And they don't even know. They're like, okay, let's just go for a job that we know that is easier to have in the job market. And so I remember in our years in the university, the most populated faculty normally is always social management science.
SMS, yeah?
Yes. Economics and management, people doing banking, economics, accounting. If you are not in that, in SMS, you are not in the university. So we already had that. That's why they was calling SMS the biggest ship on land.
You see that?
Yes, because these are practical things. And it was more mindset. They already told us that if you're not in the business world, like studying that. It was only after my studies in the university I discovered that what I even needed was not even in economics and management. I needed just real street education, like just get into the streets and then try to fly and then see if you're going to fly, you're going to break a limb or anything and keep moving. But it's not the case now. Till now, as we're talking, there are people listening to us right now that are supposed to write the advanced level this year. Parents that don't even have time to call their children and ask.
Yeah, but even the university, do they really know what they want to do, even at the level of the university? Do you have the impression that people know, even after university, what they really want to do?
I don't think so. Even at the level of people doing masters and PhDs, they don't know. Especially in Cameroon, the average Cameroonian feel that the more certificates you pack up, the more advantage you might have
to pick up a job.
Yes. So they go to school because they just want to get those certificates. That's their own. And that's why I made a statement was I said the average Cameroonian become uneducated the moment they graduate from school. They stop learning, they stop studying, they stop reading. Because the only reason they read was because they wanted to write exams. And as soon as they're out of school, you give them that certificate, they don't have any exam to write again, that's all. So they don't know why they are in school in the first place. They don't know what they are doing in school. If not, I have someone that wants to make a lot of money, just decide one day to go and do anthropology and sociology. So my question is, what do you want to become? What's your dream? Do you really want to make money in this life? If yes, where? In this country? How do you want to do that? So they don't get it. All of us just want to go to university and come out one day, put on the robe that we are graduating. So we have to first of all target the intention.
But isn't it dangerous, Mr. Teke? You are in this business. I don't know why you got into it. Was it out of the discovery of what Ms. Lee said? That you thought that you wanted to give Cameroonians a direction? But isn't it dangerous that if you were to bring 100,000 high school students, they would really not tell you what they want to become?
It's
and then
very dangerous. Yes, it's very dangerous. That's why we have to fix it. I always say this way: if you are in Boya and you want to go to Douala, you pick a bus, board a bus, and the bus starts moving towards Kumba. You get to say Muyuka or Idiki and realize that this is not the way to Kumba. Instead of sitting down there to complain, all you have to do is take a U-turn and move straight back to Douala, whatever time you want to reach there. But you should know that you have taken a U-turn. So right now we have realized that the whole intention, the whole thing has been wrong and is dangerous to our future. What we have to do now is to take a U-turn, a dangerous turn, and then start moving towards the right direction, which is supposed to be the encouraging of street education. helping people to understand why they should choose a career, giving them the importance of this career. If we go to universities and then we choose a course, do we even have people who counsel us and say, okay, this one is like this is like this is why you should choose this? Do we have such opportunities? Most times we don't. I have a typical case of someone who applied, and then she happened to, she was forced to do a professional masters, and she was like, no, I want to do classic, and let's say professional, and then they said, okay, we can't change, and she was forced to go for the professional masters. The difference, I can't really figure it out, but she wasn't happy that she was going for the professional masters. So if you go to school after the first degree is not working, the next thing is, okay, let me add one more degree, you add masters, and it wasn't working, next you now add PhD. It's like, why are you doing that? Come on, if your first degree certificate cannot put a food on your table and people around you, it's not to get another degree, it's to sit back and think, are you doing the right thing?
You are the Shep Academy. Yes. Are they working towards that, or they also just get children and...
That's the difference with Shep Academy, because the whole idea is to teach people the practicalities of wealth creation.
Okay.
Helping people to live life. That's why what we do there is we bring all of these guys, PhD holders, they come and say, see, all of those things you've done, this is how you're supposed to do. So if you come with your PhD, you're a career person, will tell you this is how you're supposed to use your career to put food on your table. The average Cameroonian is not dumb. They are so smart and intelligent. The only problem is that they don't know how to monetize their talents or their skills. And that is what we do at Shep Academy. I wish you have time where we can have testimonies. You see everybody testifying. After I attended Shep Academy, I was able to start my business, I was able to do this. That's what we are supposed to do.
But why did you not bring some of them?
I think
next Friday?
Yeah, I think we should do that next Friday.
Because
Probably she came late, but I think she has some.
There's some videos.
Because the truth is, people go to school with the intention of coming back to look for a job. But it's supposed to be, your reason for going to learn is to come to create jobs. So if we can switch these intentions over,
but parents are supposed to know that you send a child to school to be able to gather skills and knowledge.
Some of our parents never went to school, so we couldn't blame them. Some of our parents were farmers. They struggled to send us to school so we can be better. So we have to go there, explore the world, and change our lives and change their own lives too.
Okay, Mr. Lien, Buji, Mr. Buji. Yes, the place of mentors in all of this.
Yes, it's very important. Mentorship is a very important role in whatever career you're choosing, because you need to know somebody who has walked the path and has been successful there. But it's quite unfortunate that we also have people, you have somebody who is, imagine you're doing history, for instance, and your mentor is doing geography. It doesn't really match. It's like I've seen people who, you want to be a coach, but your mentor is not a coach. Now, what is the difference? These two go together. Whenever you call a mentor, a coach is around. A coach can be anybody, because coach needs more of a motivational skill. That's why you can have the best coach who is not a best football coach who is not a player. But it's very difficult to have a good mentor that is not doing what you are doing. So you have to get to the right place. You actually get to the right place so that you can have that knowledge. So, and I think mentorship, it's something that it needs to be instilled in society when you're starting study. If you want to choose a career, look at your role model there. I remember a journalist who said anytime she usually see her role model journalist on TV, I cannot remember that name vividly, but she says anytime she saw the CRTV journalist, she always feels inspired, say she will be like her one day. And until she finally had the opportunity to meet her, and just one or two words, that changed a lot, because that's her role model. But imagine if you wanted to be a journalist and your mentor is a businessman. That's totally different. So I think mentorship, you should match the right people to the right people.
Okay, how does it work, getting a mentor and making sure that you work towards becoming what you see in your mentor? You identify one, you walk up to them,
okay,
and solicit their mentorship?
Anyways, to me, I believe that when you're following what you're supposed to be doing, he has a way it directs you. You meet the right persons. That's how the road goes. When you're following your lane, you will always meet people who are going to be able to hold your hand in that lane. And now, in some cases, you can literally walk up to people. I know people that have contacted me and told me that they want Mr. Teke to be their mentor. Like, they literally tell you that, I want Mr. Teke to be my mentor. Now, we'll tell you, okay, if you can meet him, you're bold enough, go and meet him, tell him that I want to be my mentor. It's okay. Now, but I personally have a problem with people who have mentors who are really far.
Okay.
Like, because I believe that a mentor is somebody that does not just talk, but directs. It's informed about some certain decisions you're making. And so a lot of people tend to have mentors that they cannot have access to. Your mentor that does not know any of your movements, does not know whatever you're doing, it's difficult for you to be able to get what you want to get from that type of person. But now, if you are following your track, like what Mr. Buji said, that this lady is always watching this said journalist on TV, and one day bumps into her and all that. Now, I might not really term that mentorship until when I've had a contact with you and you know I exist. You should not be a mentee to I should not be a mentee to a mentor who does not know I exist. That's not mentorship. I could just be your fan. That's what people used to mistake. I could just like you so much. I like to follow your programs, but you don't know me, I don't know you. So how do you even mentor me? How do you coach me? So we can be able to meet our mentors. When you meet somebody, one thing I know is when you meet your mentor, when you are following what you're supposed to be doing, you can be able to identify your mentor when you see one.
Okay. So if you're watching us and you think, because the essence of this Friday editions, this is how it's going to be. It is to help redirect the wrong decisions we've made in our lives already, especially the domain of career building and making wealth. We are poor because we cannot make wealth. We need to create wealth. So every Friday of the week, we are going to be discussing on topics like this. Today, we are talking about making life and career choices. So if, like she says, Miss Lee says, if you think that somebody needs to mentor you, you are a farmer and you want to be the best farmer, try to identify the best farmer available around. You walk up to them, let them walk you, they should mentor you. So I'm sure the message is passing out there. Mr. Teke, the Shep Academy, is there a course for mentorship, or how does it happen?
Yeah, there's a provision for mentorship. There's place for coaching. Okay. But what we do is, everything about Shep Academy is let me use the word follow up. So you come, you do your 1 month or so at Shep, then we put continuous follow up, following you up, coaching you, mentoring you, monitoring what you are doing, see how we can guide you through until you become successful, until you come out successful. The whole idea is not just to come and learn, the idea is to come out successful learner. That's what we do. So Shep Academy is all about mentorship, trying to train people in the business milieu and see how they can make money out of whatever it is their hand finds to do. That's what we do at Shep Academy.
Okay. Now, parents and the choices of their children, is that a core concern for Cameroonian youth today? He raised that earlier on.
Yeah, it is. It is a core concern, but I also want us to be a little bit nice with parents, who are not aware of things like this. So that is why we are in the world in which we are right now is different from the one our parents grew up from. So I think most times we should take the responsibility to create the change that we desire. If you realize that, okay, my parents did this because that's, like I said, you cannot grow beyond the level of information you have. That's the information they had. And now I have encountered a new information. What am I supposed to do? Stop blaming my parents, take a new step, take a U-turn, change, and start acting. My parents wanted me, my elder brother always wanted me to be a lawyer. But how I escaped from their hand, I think God just helped me early. And like, truth is, even thinking about last month, they still came back and said, okay, now they're into business and you're doing well, why not go and do one of these law courses to see if you're, and it's like, why should I still do that again? So it's still working. So I think most of our parents still need to be educated. If we can create a system like what we are doing right now, if we can create a system where we can go from door to door or from time to time, create a forum where we can gather parents together and try to talk to them. Like, see, this is what you should do with your children. All the NGOs people create around, that can be an arm of an NGO, just to go and educate people on guiding them on how to go about their children's career. Don't force them to do this. Look at what they do. This is how you can guide them to get a career and all that, so they don't go in the future and then be misled because of the decisions you made for them. Someone can create an NGO like that, and that would be amazing. Just educating parents, especially in the remote areas, on how to go to guide their children to pick up a career.
That's a job opportunity.
Yeah.
Those are opportunities for
Yes.
people. That is, you create an NGO with the sole motive to help teach parents on how to help their children get the best out of so that the child does not tell you that I want to go and read literature in the university. And yeah, you should be able to help. Yes. Okay. We are going to discuss for 5 minutes with these guys from the Fror International, represented with this evening in the studio by Mr. William Kmer Ebang, all the way from Boya. They're supposed to be here yesterday. Unfortunately, they did not come. Yes, tell me about the Fror International.
Actually, Fror International is a UK-based company which has decided to take the program which was launched by the UK government about 2 years ago, which deal with the recruitment of nurses in especially less developed countries like Africa, in Asia, and take them to UK. You undergo a 3-month training. We call it the OAT program, and then after that you go in for an 8-month work placement. Then after that you write what we call the OSCE exam, and you become a full-time Band 5 nurse in the UK. Yeah, so that's all about the program.
Yes, but many persons are worried about such programs. How authentic is this one?
Yeah, actually we are working with, if you see most of the nurses and the midwife association in Cameroon have endorsed the program, and also I'm the president of the Southwest Youth Association. We have also endorsed this program. Yes, if you go to the website, you will check at www.foy.eu. The Foy is spelled as FOYLE.eu. Yeah, you can even call, you check, you see the numbers are there. My personal number is 6799-08706, and you can get to Mr. Njome Valentine 680006-754. Mr. Njome Valentine was sent to Cameroon by the Fror International to come to the program.
Yes, you guys were here last time. What's there for the audience?
Actually, we actually had 3 seminars. One was in Boya, the other one in Douala, and presently we are planning for another seminar tomorrow, which is going to be at, without any publicity, Hotel Falas in Yaoundé. That is the 6th of February, tomorrow Saturday. The time is from 12 noon right up to 6 p.m.
Okay, for those who are in Yaoundé, you want to get a recruitment as a nurse in the UK.
Yes.
There is a seminar for you tomorrow at the Hotel La Falaise in Yaoundé, beginning at midday. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you endorse this program? Do you want people to leave the country, or
well, you see, Tex Global, Mr. Teke has been talking about training youth to get empowerment, especially in the aspect of professionalism. Yes, we all have our own story. We cannot tell them here. Actually, if you can get a profession like the work of a nurse, that is one of the best professions in the world. Because one day all of us, whether we like it or yes, we are going to fall ill. So when you become a nurse and you don't have a job, the Cameroon government is trying. They have recruited so many people, and the private sector have also tried. So if since this program, the nursing training in Cameroon have been endorsed, and the training is acceptable there in UK, that you can, when you leave Cameroon after being trained as a nurse, you can be recruited there in the UK.
Okay.
So
who is qualified for the program?
For all those who have done nursing training for at least 2 years, and you must have at least advanced level. So you are qualified. especially those who also have experience,
Okay.
who have been working in hospitals.
Okay, so if you are a nurse or you have a family relative who is a nurse, please you call the number 68006754. You call the number 68006754, or you call 6799080706, 6799080706. Tomorrow, if you are interested, you should be in Yaoundé at Hotel La Falaise midday to be able to get practical modalities on how to go and work in the UK as a nurse. Mr. William Kmer, Eban, we are glad you came to present this opportunity to Cameroonians, and I'm sure you are taking off for Yaoundé this night.
Actually, I'm already on my way.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and I wish you the best.
Okay, we wish you a safe journey. We take a short break. After that, we continue our discussions with Mr. Teke. Welcome back. You're watching Prime Hour on My Media Prime. This time around, we stay with Mr. Teke and his team from Tex Global. They want to change things in Cameroon and give it new direction to the youths in our country, so that we all can put food now, quality food on the table, not just food, not Gary and Bonga.
Is Gary, quality Gary.
Okay, we're talking about parents, and you see that you're advising young Cameroonians. There are many persons who do not even have jobs out there now.
Yes.
Create,
So we just give them a job already.
Yeah.
yes, create an NGO with the sole purpose to regularly gather parents, teach them on the job opportunities that exist out there,
Yeah.
so that they can in turn tell their children,
Yeah.
as you are going to school, this is where we expect, because these are the opportunities. Now, we are talking about life choices now. Yes, but it's also consideration is supposed to be taken for those that you are supposed to spend your life with now, because you will not be working without a life partner now. Yes, this is also. Are you married?
No.
Yes, no. But yes, but are you already thinking about that?
Of course.
Because it has to also help.
I don't think we're
Of
forcing to think.
Are you thinking
course.
about that?
Yes, I'm thinking of that. About
Yes.
that.
And you think that what consideration should be given here?
I think it should be somebody who can understand what I'm doing. Yes, because I'm purely into entrepreneurship. I think about business every time when I get up. So my other half should be somebody who understands my world, where I'm coming from, so that by the time I'm going to Dubai, she could actually understand that. So I believe that couples should actually have they should be going towards the same direction. So you need to understand what the other partner is doing. And I think that because you understand that two cannot work together unless they agree. But it doesn't mean that you must also get married to the person doing the same thing you're doing. So I kind of strike a balance. Like if you are a nurse and your wife is a police officer, I think it's very difficult to reverse it at that level. So I will prescribe that you give support to each other at that stage.
Yes, very, very important now. It is, especially when we are not yet married, that we should start thinking about that, Ms. Lee.
Yeah, we should. We should. I believe that when it comes to that aspect of making a choice, I'll talk from a lady's perspective, because we have ladies out there who are striving now to stand out in the society, and most of them take their time to make a choice, because they always feel like every man that comes is either trying to challenge you or trying to look at you very inferior. You know, inferiority complex makes you want to intimidate the next person. So I think it's more about, for a lady, it's either you're getting somebody who is your your resource or is your market. It's either you're a resource to fuel what I'm doing, or you're a market outlet for what I'm doing. So the man should be able to fall in this light, because if we don't do that, it's either you're facing so much challenges, like some men, I've heard men say things like this, that when I got married to you, you're not like this. All of a sudden now you're traveling up and down. Before I knew you're not like this, and trouble comes in the house. So it's better when the man knows that this is what this lady is doing. And he sees already, he should be ready to see into the future and see that this lady, there's a possibility of this lady expanding to this capacity. So it's either coming to support you and allow you to expand, or he's coming to expand with you, because not all men might have so much insight to want to support their wife to that extent. But just being able to hold their hands, then it's fine. So making a life choice like that for ladies, it will make things easier if before you even want to settle down, have a foundation. It will make things really easier. Not ideas in the mind. You meet a man and you tell the man that I was planning to have a hairdressing salon. When you get married, the hairdressing salon ends there, because it was in your mind. But the moment he meets you, that you already have a base, even if it's a hairdryer for that hairdressing salon, it will be difficult for the vision to just die down. He will have no other choice than to support you. So you just build yourself, just develop yourself, meet the right man who can support, who can either support or expand, not challenge you.
Yeah, but we must stress here that it is very, very important to consider the decisions we take before we engage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very important. It's very important to consider the decisions, like I said. And some people don't really believe in mentorship when it concerns marriage, but I kind of believe so much in mentorship when it concerns choosing a life partner. Not necessarily having so much mentors when you're already married, because from what I know, even that my exact case, I can tell us what I married. From what I know, you learn the marriage process when you're married. But before you get into it, you need mentors to play around to help you make the right choice. Because it's something like, once you get into it, let me use my mother's words, and once you get into it, it's a do or die affair. Is that ready to do or you're ready to die? And dying is not like physical death, but it's either you are enjoying or you're enduring. So a lot of people around, a lot of things, a lot of factors have to play around you to be able to influence that decision. And you can be able to predict if you have a successful marriage. That's one thing I know. From the way you can live your life as a single lady or a single man. If you being single is not being lonely, or these are different things. Being single is understanding independency and understanding how to manage it. If you cannot lead yourself when you're single, then it means that leading yourself in the marital home will be terrible.
Okay. Wow, Mr. Liu, thank you for inviting Mr. Teke. I personally recommended him to come live on my Media Prime on his Facebook page. Such great minds like him will change this country. I'm stuck to my TV. Alex is writing from Boya. Good evening to you, Alex. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and our cool panelists. It's not easy to make a choice of career in Cameroon. Papa Oyoyo in Douala here. Okay. Paul says, good evening, greetings to you and Mr. Teke, special greetings to the panel. Okay, thank you very much. But Mr. Teke, you are married now?
Yes.
Yes. How capital is it when we are looking towards a successful life and deciding on who to take as a life partner?
This is what I was taught. Okay, so we try this. So just put your hands like this.
Okay.
So let's try. So bring them. Now, if they're like this, then it's not good for marriage.
Okay.
So the reason we have this space here is because these fingers, if we must have a strong union, these fingers have to get into this space. So why choosing a life partner, you have to look at someone who has certain space that you have to fill.
Okay.
And the person should be looking at someone that has a space that I have to fill. So the person, the lady or the guy you want to marry, is there a weakness in them that you think you have a solution to it? So, but this is what we do. We are looking at their strength and how they can help us. That's why relationship fail. And that's why someone said that, I thought you were like this. I never knew you were going to be like this. So we have to go there with the intention of solving a problem. So when you look at them, this guy is powerful. But what is his weakness that I have the capacity to solve? then you get into that relationship. You will discover that while he's excelling in his strength, you are busy building his weakness. And while you are excelling in your strength, he is building your weakness, and the union is moving. Because nobody wants to depart from someone who is solving their problems. So we have to get into a relationship with the intention of solving our partner's problems. So his satisfaction is my reason for that relationship. My satisfaction is her reason for that relationship, and the thing moves. There's a demonstration I normally make. I said, imagine your name is Jennifer, and you have two guys that love you so much. The other guy is called Mike Tyson, and the other one is called Michael Jackson. And you are so good at music, and you want to build a strong music career. Michael Jackson is powerful hip-hop star, good musician. Just him featuring in your music, you are blown already. And Mike Tyson is a boxer, but you are a musician, and these two guys love you so much equally, and you are meant to choose. Who will you choose? Without blinking your eye or praying, Michael Jackson is the right partner for you. Why? Because he's a good plug for the growth of your career. So that is what we should be looking at. This guy, who is he, or this lady, who is he? Are they the right block for my career? They may not be doing what I'm doing, but they have a solution to my weakness, and I have a solution to their weakness, and it moves.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, I used to be a bookseller and a fuel seller in my town, but for some years now, since I joined the public service, I have been thinking of a business to do to add value to my financial life, but I'm lost due to the places that I'm transferred. Please, how can your panelists help me to come out with a business? Agbo is writing from Manfe. Agbo, Mr. Teke's number is on the screen. Can you just call him after the program? I'm sure he's going to help you out. Just call Mr. Teke after the program, and he will get to you. If you cannot get to him, get to me after the program, and we will get back to you. Good evening to you all there. I'm watching your program from Bamenda. Thank you very much. Now, making choices also, the people that surround you are also great consideration.
Great consideration. As a matter of fact, there are three major forces that can either make you or destroy you. And one of them are your friends, the people around you. They have a whole lot to do with the choices you make in life.
Okay.
Some people are addicts today, drug addicts, alcoholics, not because they wanted to, but because there were people around them that influences them. So your friends can determine who you become in life and the choices you make. In school, almost every one of us wanted to identify with these science students. When they put on their lab jacket and they carry the big biology books and all that, everyone wants to be friends with these guys. So if you stay too long with them, you'll be influenced and thinking that you too know sciences just because you are their friends. And then you find yourself failing into fit in, trying to fit into failing. So we have a lot of influence as long as people around us, our parents, our friends, our community is concerned. So our environment, people around us, and where we are coming from has so much to do with the career, the choices we make in life.
Yes, but how can they greatly hinder you from reaching your goal?
It has a lot to hinder you, especially if you have not rediscovered yourself.
Okay.
Because you'll be living your life based on what you see or what you hear from the people around you. If they keep telling you, hey, teaching is one of the best professions in the world today, that's what you hear from when you were small until you're growing up. You have no other choice, automatically become a teacher. Yeah. If they tell you being a lawyer is a noble profession, you just grow up and then love being a lawyer, and then bam, you become it. So it has a whole lot. The only way you can come out of it is when you rediscover yourself. But if you remain in that same environment all through your life, your choices will be determined by the people around you.
Okay. Now, have you made any addition or subtraction to the people that surround you, the persons you're working with?
Of course, if you want to actually go far, there are times that you have to leave behind a burden. Right? Once you cycle, like for instance, he just mentioned the fact that you are around science students and you think that you're already a science student, or you think that you're part of them, but actually you're not part of them. Though you enjoy that company, there comes a time that you have to leave. And the truth is that when you start making some type of changes, automatically some people leave your life. Sure. Because they no longer identify with you. It has happened to me as well, where people could not understand why of a sudden I just decided that no, let the public service, no more medical. I want to pursue business. So it's like a revolution. The moment you refuse to conform in society, automatically you're declaring war against your family, against your friends, against your loved ones. Sometimes you don't blame them because they think that is the best for you. They really wanted you to be a teacher, they really wanted you to be a lawyer, but of a sudden you say you want to be a businessman, you want to be the next Dangote. So those things, like, you dream too much, and nobody, if you want to grow, you won't be in a cycle that constantly remind you of you are not, you cannot do this. Because sometimes your cycle start telling you, because of this, nobody in your family has ever become a millionaire. Nobody in this field that you're choosing has ever become this. So
if you want to make it big, this is not the place.
Tell you things like about the family of which you are coming from. So that start giving you a limiting belief about yourself, and you cannot grow beyond your belief. If you have to, then you have to break away from that culture. Just like when God took the children of Israel from Egypt, He took them from an environment, but He never took their culture away from them. So even while they were in the desert, as soon as Moses left them to go and talk to God, and they stayed for too long on their own in the same circle of people, they changed their belief and started worshiping idol again, because that culture was in them. So it's about what you have known to discover from within. You can change your environment. You can go to America today, but you can still remain broke if that broke belief is in you. You can go to America and still be an alcoholic, because what you happen is the alcoholic belief is in you, and so when you get to America, it's a system. The universe will just bring alcoholic guys around you, and they become your company again. So if we need change, first we have to change the inside. When we change the inside, it creates a radiation of who wants to come around us or who wants to remain around us.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. Many youths make wrong choices by what they see and hear from their teachers. E.g., a teacher of sociology will want to make that subject look the best in depending on his or outfit. Some students get easily convinced to change from the first choice. Musungu is writing from Kumba. Good evening to you in the studio. I'm Kumsi Pren in Boya. With respect to students in the high school and university, I have realized that parents tend to influence them a lot, which is not good, because in Africa, majority of the parents can't even understand what their children are best at in school to see how they can help them choose a good career. So on this light, I really want students to take control of their career choices. Okay. But can the students also just take it their own? Mr. Leo, good evening. I wish to thank everyone on this program today. I wish to ask if SHEP Academy operates online training for those of us who are not in Boya. Daniel is writing from Bangem.
Okay, Miss Eric can talk about that.
Yes, we do run the online session. We run an online session, but for this month we're running just the on-site.
Okay, in Boya.
Yes, in Boya. Yes, we have just the on-site for now. The online session runs. We have a functioning online session, but like I said, for now we are training just on-site. Okay,
Daniel from Bangem, you have their numbers on the screen. If you want to talk to them, just call them after the program. They will tell you how it functions. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm happy with the program and it's really educative. Please, I will need Mr. Teke's contact. I'm Collins, writing from Yaoundé. Mr. Teke's contact is on your screen. You can get it from there. I'm Sume Brian from Boya. Mr. Liu asked the panel, since they are not married, how can they mentor married couples since they don't have the married experience? No, Mr. Teke is
happily married.
Mr. Teke is married.
Yes, married.
Yes, Mr. Teke, this issue of parents imposing on their children to become a medical doctor, to become a this and that, and somebody is saying that the students themselves should start deciding their fate. Very, very important. But how do you get the children, the young children who are in secondary school, who are watching now, and university, to know that you have to take your destiny to your hands? Because if you miss it, you may regret.
Well, there are certain ages in Africa, in Cameroon, where you can't try that. Yes, you can't be in primary. I tell your parents, I want to do this.
No, I'm talking for high school and university.
Even some high school, we have some domineering parents who will not want to take any trash from you. They will tell you, if you want to do this, then you're on your own. So question is, do you have the capacity to be on your own?
Okay.
If not, then you have to listen to them. Do what they ask you to do while you are fixing your way out, until when you gain your independence, where you can actually do things on your own. But if you are crazy like me, you can actually break out and do your thing. So whatever comes out of it, then you should go to bear it. But to say, no, break away from your parents and tell this is what I have to do, you have to be calm. There's this saying, one of my mentors told me, said, the finger that removes maggot from a tree is not supposed to be strong. So while you are trying to get your way through your parents, you have to be very soft and wise in doing that. Now, number two, I think we already give a solution to this. We have to see how we can create systems where we can educate parents to allow the kids to actually do their bidding, that thing that comes out from them. And parents should also be able to understand that the way this child is going, this child can be good at this, not just because of what I want the child to be. And we shouldn't overblame the parents, because it's based on what they know. They believe being a doctor is a good profession. Okay, so I want my child to be a doctor so that the family can have some standing. No parent has ever given a career to the child on a biased basis. They think it's for the benefit of the family or the child. And so the children have to be, we have to look at it. Okay, my dad is saying this for this reason. And you cannot fight them. Obey your parents. So what are you supposed to do? Give them time. Allow them to do what they have to do. Obey them. While you are going to school, you are also building your dream career for yourself. That's what it should be. I always say this, majority of the people that spend a lot of money in bars, in restaurants, are students. These guys believe that because I'm going to school, any money that comes into my hands is to spend, is to eat. So if you think that what you're doing is against your will, all your pocket allowances, what do you do with them? Use that to be building a side career for yourself while you are doing what your parents want you to do. Because truth be told, you will never be under them forever. After 18, 19, 20, 21, maximum 25, you have to start making decisions on your own. So while you get into the university, every student should begin to think that it is time for me to get my own future in my hands. While my parents are still monitoring me, what can I do for myself? In other societies, that's what most children do. They start building their career, even from secondary school. So parents, we should be able to train our children. I have a daughter that is 14. I teach her how to save. I teach her businesses already. So by the time she gets to a certain level, it's like, I don't want to go to school again. I want to start a business. She's already building savings for herself. We don't have parents who teach their children how to save. We don't have parents who teach their children how to be independent. The entire African culture is the system of dependency. And that is why as soon as the person graduates from school, first degree, he starts carrying burden, because the parents say, hey, we have sent you to school, now it's time for you to take care of us. Yes. See, the duty of a parent is to give education, sound education to the child. But it is not the child's responsibility to take care of the parents when they are old or when they graduate from school. So when we put too much burden on these guys after school, we are building a lot of poverty for our future Cameroonians. Because our parents send us to school, as soon as we are done with school, every pressure from the family comes back to us. You are working 100,000, you have to take care of your mom, your dad, your this, and everybody. Why is it supposed to be like that? Our parents should be able to build a retirement plan for themselves. So that if I retire today, I should be able to have a system that can take care of me and not put a burden on my children. The Bible says that a good man will leave inheritance upon his children's children. So a man who sends his child to school and does not leave inheritance for this child's children's children, that is his great-grandchildren, he's not a good man. As wonderful as it sounds, or as terrible as this sounds, but you're not a good man by Bible description. It means every parent should work so hard that after sending your child to school, you should fix a retirement plan for yourself. So if your child is giving you anything, he's giving you because, Dad, thank you for giving me this life you've given me. Not when they are giving you that's like, my mom, my dad, am I going to die for you people? We have a lot of people out there, after school, they get a job, they have not been able to make anything for themselves. Late marriages, not because these guys want to, because the family responsibility is so much on their head.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Interesting topic. Keep it on. Nalua Molombe, writing from Limbe, good evening to you. Naloa, please say, a lot of men out here really want to get married, but they don't have serious girls. We only have nightclub girls. I just love what that lady said. Okay, the person is watching and writing from Bamenda. Good evening to you. There are many serious guests out there. Mr. Liu, good evening. A man has a mission to accomplish her here on earth, a very difficult task as assigned by God. That's why God himself recommended a help for the man to be able to meet or hit his target. I want to ask the lady on the panel from her take, who is actually marrying who? The woman is a help to the man, and in doing her help job, this the man establishes her to make her job of helping him easy, not helping her build what she had in her mind before marriage. Tiku Felix is writing from Boya. I'm sure she's going to reply to you. Mr. Liu, I think to better our nation, the government should institute the teaching of agriculture in the secondary school and entrepreneurship in the first year in the university. Not only at master's degree level, because many people make a lot of mistakes that may not be corrected before graduating. From undergraduate Alex, writing from Boya. Good evening, Prime R crew. Mr. Teke, you are amazing. May God bless you with more wisdom.
Amen.
Etel Droda is writing from Douala. Yes. You heard what Tiku Felix said?
I heard
but
that.
Before getting back to Tiku Felix, I asked him about the circle of friends, how it could help. Are you also thinking, have you downsized? Have you added? Are you looking forward to adding?
Yes, I have. I started doing that like since when I had my advanced level.
Okay.
Yes, I had to take a lot of decisions because I saw that a lot of things around me were not very okay. Like the way I was expecting to see life, like to start having life, the way I wanted life to be, it was not the way it was already indicating that was going to be. Because last time we came here, I think Mr. Teke mentioned that success is very predictable. And I saw that with the people I had around me, most of them were just going to bring me down. And it seemed comfortable. But comfort and conviction cannot stay in one house. It's either you're comfortable or you're convicted. And when I got the conviction, I was like, okay, I need to get moving. And I know that dropping people, it's really not easy. Because some people feel like they're often mistaken for pride or something. But I think a focused person really needs to know who stands by them. Because some people will just talk you out of a lot of things that you know without you knowing. It's like how you're passing beside a bar and you're sitting beside a bar and every day they're playing some songs. It's ringing your spirit and you don't know. One day they'll call you to sing that song. You just discover you're singing the song, not knowing when you learn the song. That's how it is. So you'll be beside people who say things that don't have anything to do with what you're doing. You are a mechanic, your closest friend is a hairdresser. One day you will take maybe a comb to your workshop. I only discovered that you went with a comb. You would just okay. I remember there's this young guy. One time his mom sent him to meet me that I should talk to him. And so when he came, I started asking him questions. I'm like, why did you run away from school? He says, no, he wants to be a mechanic. I said, I'm not against the fact that you want to be a mechanic, but your parents just want me to be able to bring out this information. Why? Just confide in me. I was very shocked when he told me that back then in Bamenda, when they were in school, his closest friend, his father, that is their whole family, runs a mechanic shop at Queen. So he said that when they close from school, since nobody's often home, because he's a twin, the sister is always in the market with his mom and all that. So he goes with his friend to the mechanic workshop, and he will stay there till around 5 p.m. before he goes home. So it was a daily routine. And he used to just enjoy the fact that when they leave from school, his friend will be able to remove his uniform and still do another thing away from school, be at the age of 12. And he started developing passion so much for touching cars and all that. And the funny thing is, the person who owns this particular mechanic shop is encouraging his son to go to school and telling his son that if you want to be a mechanic, you will go to school and study it well. you be an engineer, not this one we are doing by the road. But this other guy who was not getting that other education that his friend was getting after working with his father, because when they would go home, his father would tell him that. But this one, his parents didn't even know that he was even going there in the first place. So nobody was there to tell him that, okay, if you really want to be a mechanic, go to school and learn it. So all his mind was, I want to be a mechanic. And that was it. That guy stopped school, stayed in the house for like 2 to 3 years, and he's going doing nothing. And when he explained that, I was really marveled. So it has to do your relationship, people around you really matters when it concerns decision. They put informations in your mind that you don't know.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's a pleasure watching your program. Not every lady sees out there really preparing to get married. Okay, some are career ladies now. I hope you know that. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Kudos to Mr. Teke and Co in the studio. Shep Academy is a place to discover. Ako Fedi is writing from Boya.
Okay.
Now, when you take that decision that this is what I want to do, you know, maybe because of a mentor or whatever, what next after making up your mind that this is who I want to become? Say I want to be a billionaire, like you said last time. Okay. Yes, so I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a big businessman. What happens next?
Start getting information.
Okay.
Gather the information, then start executing. Put up your plans together. Like the model for 2021 is P: plan, execute, and evaluate. So when you decide this is what I want to do, gather the information you can gather. Plan how you're going to execute that information, then start executing them. When you execute it, always make sure you give yourself self-evaluation to be sure that you're on track. I apply a principle I call the V2 MOM. So what you have to do is look at the vision. What do I want to do? What is the value of the vision? This thing I'm doing, how is it going to benefit both me and people around me? The next thing is, what are the methods that I'm going to use to carry out this thing? What are the necessary obstacles that I'm going to encounter? Because people chase careers, they chase dreams, they chase lifestyles without looking at knowing that there are obstacles, whether you like it or not. What are the things I'm going to encounter that can stop me from achieving these dreams? And when you are done with the obstacles, how do I defeat these obstacles? And the next thing is measurement. You begin to measure your life. I always say this. You should live your life in such a way that you measure your life at least once every day. Before you go to bed, sit down. Whether you are a civil servant or you are a businessman or you are a student, sit down and figure out, what did I do today? What did I achieve? What was I supposed to do to have given me a better life? You have 24 hours. What am I supposed to achieve every hour that passes by? Do we have Cameroonians who think like that? If you are growing up, or let's say this is 2021, what plan, what goal do you have for yourself? If you have this goal, I always like to say money because that's my calling. I talk money. Now, if you say you want to make 10 million, you have to put 10 million down, write it down. If I have 10 million, by December 2021, I want to get 10 million. How do I achieve this? You have to break that goal down to the smallest pieces. Divide 10 million by 365 days. It's going to give you a focus, a work task on what you need to achieve every day. So let's say after your division, you need to make, let's say, 100,000 every day. That means if 24 hours passes without you making 100,000, you have to be restless. And the only way you will know that you have not achieved your daily goal is when you evaluate yourself at the end of the day. Now, in that daily goal, break it down to per hour goal. If you do that, you will discover that a lot of people will not sit watching movies or sit in the bars and drink and waste their time. Because every hour that passes by, there is something you have to achieve. So the question is, have you achieved it? You've not. If you've not achieved, what are you supposed to do? It's also going to help you to sift the circle of your friends. Because then you'll be looking at who is going to help me to achieve this. So you not just have everybody hanging around you and then you make noise everywhere. Like, if you're not helping me to achieve my goals, then you're not my friend. That's how I do it. If you are not part of where I'm going to, then we are going separate ways. There's no need staying on the same road with you and I'm going to Douala, you are going to Kumba. We'll have to end up fighting in the car. Because I'll tell you, hey, this is my way, and you say, this is my way, then we'll end up fighting and nobody goes to anywhere. So you look for people who are going to where you are going and see how you can make your life better and easy for yourself.
Yes, I'll stay with you, Mr. Teke. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I must say I like this program, and to you, Mr. Teke, you have said everything that a man or a woman needs to discover first before accepting that marriage proposal. Thank you. Please keep sharing so that some of us can learn. Eukaria is writing from Bamenda. Thank you to Eukaria. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Children should be informed early enough that nothing learned in and out of school is a waste. Bruno, thank you, Bruno. This one says, hello to you all out there. Hello to you too. But Mr. Teke, we are talking about almost everybody wanting to get a matricule, like you said earlier on. But is it already late for those who are in the public service, like our brother who wrote from Amphi? He says he was doing fuel business and like.
No, it's not late. This is it. See, you can be doing your civil service job and you still run a business.
Okay.
The business doesn't mean that you have to be there. Like that, the person that was selling fuel and selling the other stuff, you can still successfully run that business while you're doing your job. If you go to Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, there are 4 ways through which you can bring income into your life. One of them is through a paid job, what he call employment. You can pick up an employment, pick up a job. Your boss pays you, okay, and you get the money, put it up in business. According to Robert Kiyosaki, if you are an employee, your having money is decided by your boss, your employer, which is wonderful. So if your employer doesn't pay you, you're not making any money. Now, if you decide to go to the next level, which is self-employed, it means you can create a business for yourself and the business is running. And you can actually be an employee and you're also a self-employed. That means you get your salary, invest it in a business, monitor the business is running for you while you are doing your job to keep body and soul together, so you don't start eating from your capital. So you cannot resign because you started a little business. Do your job while you're running your business. Until when your business has grown to a level where you want to rest, you want to relax, you can now decide to quit your job. You can be an employee, you're running a self-employed business, or you're running a big business, or you are an investor. The world is large, the world is big. You can actually be running a business that you are not part of it physically. Your money is just there working for you. So all you have to do is get information. What am I supposed to do? What do I put my money into to be doing for me while I'm busy doing my civil service job? Since we love security so much, you cannot deny the average Cameroonian of this job security, especially with the government. If they have it, don't discourage them. They should keep working, but they should learn to spread their energy. And this is how I explain it. Between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. is the only time you have to take care of yourself. From 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. belongs to your boss, whoever you're working for. So between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m., what do you do with that time? That's when you can get involved into online business. You can get involved into contacting people who you can invest in their business, become a partner in a particular company or a shareholder. Put in some money there. The share is running for you. The stock is running for you. The business is growing for you while you're doing your job. It doesn't affect you in any way. Okay. You must not be a part of it.
Good evening. Some children are just fascinated with certain professions without having the required hard or soft skills. Isn't it the parents' duty to orientate them? Okay. Thank you for your contribution. Good evening, Mr. Liu. If agricultural science and law are not added in the general education system, then this country is heading to nowhere. Emmanuel is writing from Oda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Why Shep Academy fee is it 50,000 for only for this? Mr. Luis writing from I don't know where you are. Yes, it's a value for what you want to get there. Good evening, Prime Media Group. It's Brian from Boya. Life in Cameroon is very difficult. That's why most youths involve themselves in scamming. And the military here in Boya is taking the in their hands, the law into their hands, and disrespecting the youths. Yes, so get more serious. Hi, Mr. Liu. Talking about parents' choices to children, it has to do with what the parents did, but could not make it because of lack of sponsors or money. E.g., I know of a case where a man was a court clerk in a village, customary court, and the son, who was good in sciences, switched to do law under the father's advice, and today he's a high court judge. What about that? Okay, which is good, eh? Good evening, Mr. Liu. I am G. Don Killian from Kumba. It's an interesting topic. Children should help their family members when they finish school. Yes, I'm not sure we are refusing that. Good evening, Mr. Kum Liu and the family in the house. May God bless you and your team for educating Cameroonians. Ivan Sone, writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu MG. Okay, no, I took that already. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Okay, no, I took that also. No, why they're repeating. Good evening, Mr. Liu. In the studio is Gaston from New Munyenge. Is it okay to set a goal and cancel it? That is a question I asked already for Mr. Teke. We are going to come to that. Glorious evening, Mr. Liu, and to all the panelists. It is of utmost importance for children to start having career orientations as early as primary school instead of waiting until they get to secondary school, where they will have guidance counselors at their service. It is funny that majority of Cameroonians change their career choices to those that they never planned to pursue when A-level results are released, and they discover that they don't have the combination of subjects they need to in order to pursue their dream careers. Only a few deem it necessary to resit the A-level and stay focused on their career choices. Primary school also needs the services of guidance counselors. My humble take. Kang Edwin is writing from Lokpom in Douala here. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Thank you very much. Now, taking decisions and setting your goal in life is also very, very important, because we're talking about making like decisions or choices, but it's also very important for everybody to set their goals. Should that come from the level of high school or university? You are setting your goals that this is where I want to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years.
So goals should be taken. Goals could be short-term or long-term.
Okay.
So while you are in secondary school, for instance, what are your goals? So if you're taking sciences, then what are your goals? So maybe your short-term goal could be to make 11 papers, and then your long-term goal is, with 11 papers, what are you going to do with 11 papers? Which means that you need to already know, out of those 11 papers, you need to do 5 in high school. And with those 5 in high school, if you take the 5, how will they impact your future? Which means that whatever, from every stage has a goal. And you already see a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Because if you want to do like journalism or mass communication, maybe you need to be taking a subject, like let's say like literature. You have which will lead you towards modern letters, as you call it. Now, if you want to become a doctor, and then you take a decision, okay, you just want 5 papers, for instance, and those 5 papers, they don't have biology inside, they don't have, that is already an abortive mission. You cannot arrive. So it's very important that at every stage, and while taking a career, at the stage of a career already, when you're choosing a career, you also have long-term goals. Why are you taking this career? And are there prospects that you're going to grow because you want to be a lawyer? And which type of lawyer do you want to become? So you must see the end. Because setting a goal, you must see the end from the beginning. That's why you understand that goals have to, whenever I talk about goals, they have to be smart. They must be specific. They must be measurable. They have to be achievable. And they also have to be time. They have to be realistic, then time bounded. So that is, if your goals, whatever goal you are taking, they need to be smart. This is something that we can, in fact, in entrepreneurship, goal setting is a full course.
Do you have the impression that our young, yes, in Cameroon, when you go to school, you set a goal for yourself, and do you know the path to take to meeting the goals you set for yourself? Do people even set goals for themselves, or it's just, I want to get a job?
I think it all starts from vision.
Okay.
You cannot really be setting goals when you don't even know where you're going to.
Okay.
Because goals is like the vision in smaller units, smaller steps. I'm going to Douala. How do I get there? Some things I have to put in place. So a lot of young people now, they are not even vision oriented. Call someone and even ask what is vision. Definition, not just definition. They still cannot give you. So they are normally supposed to be setting goals now, but it's rather unfortunate that even students don't know. Let's forget about long-term goals and just focus on short-term. They still are not very aware of the fact that they are supposed to be setting goals. And sometimes you tell them, okay, now, you tell them, set your goal. And they're like, they start asking, they'll give you back another question. I'm saying practical case because I used to talk with my younger ones. From time to time, I teach them on things like this, goal setting, join your to-do list, and all the like. And you hear questions like, oh, but how do I even start writing? How do they write? Is it in the present or it's in the past? Yes, they ask you, like, how do you even write it? They don't even know how to. But I believe that the problem is not just the fact that they are not writing these goals. I know they are not writing, most people are not writing, but I think what we have to really treat is the aspect of the aspect that they don't even have a vision yet that can guide them into setting these goals. They don't have a vision, don't know where they are going to.
So I think we should take an edition to talk about this vision, what a vision is all about, how you even start thinking about a vision and how to get there.
See, Mr. Liu, I think everybody sets goals, knowingly or unknowingly.
Okay.
Even from primary school.
Okay.
Let's
I'm a teacher.
Let's see if I can defend this. See, goal setting does not really mean what you say you want to be. Okay, why do we read when we are in school? You want to pass. That's a goal. The goal is you want to pass the exam.
Just to pass.
From primary school, you're reading because you want to pass. No child wants to fail. So the goal at that moment, though they don't know that it's a goal for themselves, they set up a target. A goal is a target, something you want to achieve. So they set up a target. I want to pass my primary 1 exam or my class 2 exam, and they read during the exam period. They read. Goal helps you to be focused to do a particular thing at a particular time to gain a particular thing. That's what goal does. So everybody set goals from nursery school to primary school, from pregnant woman to husbandman. All of them set goals, knowingly or unknowingly. So it's just that this thing varies. As we start growing up, you start getting to university, then I start giving you definitions of what a goal is. Like our language curriculum tell you it must be measurable, it must be this, it must be that. And that is the problem with the African education system. Because we get out of this memorizing stuff and keep it. And so the guy that has not been able to get this big English he has mentioned, things that he doesn't set go for himself. So all of us, we need to bring these things to the smallest level and relate our education, the information we get from school, to lifestyle. It's going to make it so easy for us. So everybody said go, primary school, secondary school, everybody said go. We are all living on goals. The only problem is we don't know how to put them in target. So you can easily forget it and start doing something else because we're not focused on it. So if you now grow to a level where you now say it must be measurable, it must be timed this, it must be timed that, it now gives you a focus. But goal setting is so important for everybody from childhood to your adulthood. If you don't have it, you'll be doing too many things at a time. But if you have it, it gives you a focus to do a particular thing at a particular time.
Yes, coming to what was raised by somebody, when persons just living, they make errors because we're talking about setting goals. You may set a goal, or you may set a target, and then you miss along the road. Do you come back to catch up? Is there an age that somebody should consider that no, there's no way for me to go back and fix things?
The entire project can be a mistake. Like an entire project can be a mistake. If you realize that this entire project was a mistake, this is what I was supposed to do. Even if you're 100 years old, abandon it. Because the important thing about goal setting, about career, is satisfaction. It's not achievement, it is satisfaction. So why people find it difficult to actually drop and pick the right thing is, man, I'm too old, 65 years, how do I start all over again? Someone has started up a little business and this is not a business I'm supposed to be doing. But because they have known him as being in that business, to drop it and pick something else becomes an issue. So because everybody is focused on achievement, what they have achieved, not satisfaction. When you go for satisfaction, it won't cost you anything to drop $100 million company and start up that thing that gives you satisfaction that can impact your world. So you can drop it anytime the moment you discover that this is not where you are supposed to be. drop it and start all over again. See Simon Peter, I like using the Bible. That's my standard. He was wonderful fisherman. He was a professional. When he met Jesus at old age, he abandoned everything. He was an adult, not a child. Jesus said, drop these things and follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. He changed his career focus the same moment and start following Jesus. How many of us can do that? That's goal setting. That's rediscovery. Yeah. So Jesus was able to make him to rediscover himself, that this is where you are supposed to be going, not this way, and he dropped it. So there's no age limit to pursue your dreams the moment you rediscover them.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I am Petula B from Mabanda in Bonaberi. Sometimes I think I got to discover all this too late, but I think I have a community to build, beginning with my kids. I am practicing what Mr. Teke said about breaking down your financial goals with immediate effect. Okay, that is the spirit now. When you discover that you were not doing something, catch up. Good evening to you and the guest in the panel is Joseph from Bamenda. I really do appreciate your amazing program and lessons. Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. Parents should help their children set goals and also try to invest in their future. For instance, if your child is doing sciences, you can tell him or her being a dentist can help him make money and help people suffering from dental problem. By so doing, the child will see himself already solving a problem and making money. By the time he completes from the university, you set up a dental care clinic for him. Thank you. Mr. Leo, good evening. Bashiru is writing from Way Village. There are ways to start up an enterprise in this country, but also lots of discouragement, and this is due to the poor moral brought up citizens that we have. So a lot of attention needs to be paid here. You know, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Bashiru, how is Way today? I'm glad to read from you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Truly, the topic is very interesting, but there are people who can set their goal, but lack of funds will make it to be reluctant, while some of their parents can even invest on them. They will still misuse it. Edwin is writing from Tombel. Good evening. Kmer from Boya, please, I would like to ask Mr. Teke why money is not taught in schools. Okay. This one says, an amazing program, impressed with the knowledge sharing. Keep it up. The good work. Ekili Prince is writing from Dubai. Thank you very much. Mr. Liu, I like that girl's philosophy. Please, can I get her number? Can I get her number? Eric is writing from Bamenda. Can you give Eric a number? I didn't want to learn.
So, yeah. No, you were saying that. I remember one time somebody said something that a friend of mine, he said something. All these girls that Mr. Teke is training like that. What he's doing, there's one that he's doing something very bad. Because the guy was like, I don't sit beside any lady that's not called Mr. Teke, and this person, and the lady is not talking about how to gain financial freedom, how to empower people. All your life are talking about money. Are you going to settle down? And I burst into laughter, and my response was like, I just told him that instead you should be happy that you're entering a family that everybody's mind is prepared for the future. So it's very oh God.
Okay, finally, you did not give the number. Don't worry.
You should call me Mr. Teke's number.
Call me
Mr. Teke's number.
Call me after the program. I'll send you her number, please. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Mr. Zag writing from Bekoko. How can someone identify he or herself? Mr. Teke, how do you identify yourself?
Oh, it's very simple. You can identify yourself by gathering information. Okay, just gather information. The moment you start learning, you begin to see the things you have flair for, the things you enjoy doing. Number two, you look at people and see what they do, and you admire what they do. Number three, by the things you do that you can easily do without any stress in achieving them. That's one of the ways you can use in discovering yourself. Yes.
And somebody was talking about teaching about money in school.
Okay, why is money not taught in school? Money is actually taught in school, but not the way it is in the street. You do banking and finance, you do all of those wonderful things. But money is not taught in school because the education we have in Africa was not generated by Africans. So the guys that gave us education, they gave us education that will suit their future achievements from Africa. They took the real thing and went with it, and they gave us the kind of education that will make us independent, that will make us dependent, that will give us a job-oriented mindset. That's the education we have. That's why I said that time, thank God for internet, we can actually access every information now. So if education, money is not being taught in school, that's the curriculum. The curriculum was not written by educationists, it was written by politicians. So we go there, get what you want to get. There's a place they call street school. That's where money is being taught. So when you leave the university, go back to the street and learn the street. I have one, my mentor of blessed memory, Miles Morrow. He said he went to school and one of his teachers was talking about money, millions and all that. And he stood up and asked the man, do you have millions? The man said no. He asked the man, so why are you teaching it? He said because he asked to teach it, that's what he studied in school, and so he's asked to teach it, so that's what he's doing. He said he stood up and left the class. He never attended that class again because he believed that you cannot teach what you don't have. But we could see our education system, and thank God for what is the professional stuff that is coming in now. So my advice is don't put your blame to either the government or to the school system. You look at what you have to learn. Learn what you have to learn and build your life. We are architects of our own success. So blaming someone will not cause will not bring any success to you. Just build yourself. Get the site information you can get and grow your career. And more people, I didn't do agriculture in school, but I'm making a life out of the agricultural sector. So everybody can do that. You study law and then today you are not a lawyer, you can become a successful businessman. You don't need to go to university to learn business. To become a successful businessman. Dangote did not learn business in school. Most of the business people didn't do business in school. So come back and figure out. That's why I'm talking about satisfaction. What do you really want? I want money in my life. So I spend all of my energy reading books about money. I have read over 300 and something books on money. It has a title, Money. The one I'm reading right now is Money Master the Game. It's over 1,300 pages. And I'm going to read it. Why am I doing that? Because I need to understand this thing that I love. What information is remaining for me to get?
Yes, but one very key aspect that we must understand in making life and career choices is the fact of sacrifice. You must understand that it's not going to be easy, because when I read, you say when taking a decision, I read it somewhere on your page, it says what problems are you solving, what problems are you facing, are you ready to face hurdles that you meet. So it also goes with a lot of sacrifices.
Yes, it goes a lot. Yes, it goes with a lot of sacrifices. Like I mentioned earlier about comfort and conviction. Conviction it's a state where you have to silence so many voices around you. You silence even your own desires, because sometimes when we want to be able to achieve some things, we have other things that come into play. But if you're not willing to sacrifice, then you cannot be able to get hold of what you have to get to. We already studied about sacrifice right from the Bible. Okay. Jesus himself accepting to die. It's a lot. But now most of us, okay, let's take this example from normal Nigerian movies we watch. Sometimes we watch a Nigerian movie that has to do with courts and all the like. They'll tell you that if you want this thing, you have to pay the price. So everybody understands that's what paying the price. The only problem is these people who have this knowledge, they say it, people say it, like you yesterday saying that I know I have to sacrifice time and energy to get this, but the problem is that the willingness to even do the sacrifice is not there. These people, the same people who understand the concept of sacrifice and attaining wealth, are not still willing to do the sacrifices, because most of the times we feel that one of the reasons why I feel people cannot really do sacrifices because they lack patience. Patience is a virtue when it concerns attaining wealth that people don't have. Of course you can get up and make money, you can create wealth in less than no time. But the truth is that even while you are doing it, no matter the duration that you use in doing it, all is that time was consumed. But people are not willing to stay and actually take the necessary steps. And now, sacrifice also, one thing that pushes people to be able to sacrifice is when they have enough information about what they want to do. When they have enough information about what they want to do, it has a way it pulls you to want to let go of, it's like what there's a particular scripture I love in the Bible that talks about the glory that is about to be revealed. Now, the Bible talks about the glory that is about to be revealed, that the present suffering cannot be compared to the glory that's about to be revealed. Meaning that even in what we are doing, the things that the steps we want to take, of course there'll be painful steps, but we know that at the end of the day there is a glory. So whenever you focus your mind on the glory, it has a way it propels you to want to sacrifice, because you are sure of what you're going to. But some people give up on the way because they did not even have clarity of where they were going to. So you hear someone saying that, I don't even see why I'm even stressing myself. I think Cameroon is the highest place. See, amongst my peers, ladies of my age, boys of my age, they are the highest of persons I've seen that does not like stress. They don't like stress. Like anything that wants to stress you.
Everybody wants enjoyment.
Everybody wants enjoyment. And I keep telling people that resilience is something that you need. If you want to attain your dreams, you want to meet up with your future and succeed the way you want to, then you should be resilient. When people get a little bit stressful, they don't want to sacrifice anything, they don't want to lose anything. They just want to keep getting and getting, of which wealth is like you are the container and all that. If you don't create enough room, it will not come in. If you have 1 billion now and you don't have enough information to manage 1 billion, there'll be no space, so the 1 billion will go. That's how it is. But a lot of these people are not willing to make this sacrifice, to take these bold steps. They are very they like to be comfortable.
The sacrifices, when we talk of sacrifices to becoming rich and successful, what are the sacrifices to make?
To become rich and successful, you definitely have to sacrifice financial resources. You need to sacrifice time. You need to sacrifice friendships that are not productive. In fact, you need to sacrifice your pleasures.
Sacrifice your family. Sacrifice emotions. There's a lot involved in this. Because see, until you become hard, you cannot become financially free. If you are someone that your emotion is being tossed to and fro, this person call, you want to attend, this person come, you want to attend to them, they are not ready. From 2016 till now, I don't sleep for more than 3 hours. Like I study like a student that wants to go and write exam. I sacrifice my sleep, I sacrifice friends, I don't even have relationships, just because I know this is where the whole thing is coming from. So we have a lot of sacrifice. Your entire life, if you want to be successful, is a life of sacrifice. People are going to call you wicked, they're going to call you names, they're going to call you a whole lot of things. You have to be ready for that. Nobody that is truly successful that has a complete good name, they must call you bad.
Okay, they must call you bad. Yeah, that is also the sacrifice to be successful. Aside from Yaoundé, Mr. Liu, this program is very great, my brother. It will help the Cameroonian youth. This type of platform I have been talking about. Okay, thank you very much. We hope they are also listening and taking notes. Every Friday, we are going to be having Mr. Tekeye and Miss Lee and Mr. Gucci. Yes, they are going to be here to turn the table. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to all in the house. It's Bless from Douala. Really appreciate you people for the amazing program today. The program today is helping youths to discover who they really are. I wish such programs could come up frequently. Every Friday, this is what we're going to be discussing. I'm sure we'll talk about vision, what is vision and how to get there. Bashiru is back once more. Mr. Leo, the issue of moral that I'm talking here, you see, especially these guys who study agriculture, and then all the time you find them on suit instead of applying what their parents have wasted money all the years that they are training them to take over a plantation and be as an employer. Every day they come that local farmers should form cooperatives. From here, fund gets directly into their pockets. Okay, that is also lack of information or education. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I thank you for this interesting and educative program. What I have to say is that we should be able to determine what we want to be in future before writing the O level. This is because if we choose a wrong series, it may lead to frustration after A levels. I'm Buji Gilbert, writing from Kongsamba. Good evening to you, Gilbert, writing from Kongsamba. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Top C from Toulon City. I love your program. Thank you very much, Top C. Good evening, Mr. Liu. As a Cameroonian parent, if I have the opportunity to ask my child who has desire to become a medical to enter a NAM as an inspector of taxes, I will do it for big and sure money. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and hello to your panelists. I am enjoying your program. Please, I will create time and bring my son to Mr. Teke to help him understand what he actually wants as he has pursuing his professional studies at the University of Bamenda. Thanks. ST is writing from Bamenda. You can call Mr. Teke. His number is there. And Mr. Teke, thank you for, is this my copy of The Billionaire Mindset?
Okay, if you don't have a copy, yes, you can get that.
Okay, yes, thank you. I have a copy of The Billionaire Mindset. If you want it, you can contact me or you contact Mr. Teke. You will read it so that you can get this, you will change your mind, you see, the brain.
It's a French copy.
Yes, there is a French copy and an English copy. Mr. Teke, I'm sure that next week, can we talk on this next week?
Sure.
Yes, we are going to explore this book, The Billionaire Mindset. So next Friday, you want to know how to become a billionaire, don't miss this program. Next Friday, we are going to discuss on this book. But is there any seminar workshop coming up?
Yes.
By you guys?
Yes, Mr. Puji.
Okay.
Yes, we have a seminar this next week. That's on the 13th of February here in Douala.
Okay.
Yes, and that seminar is titled Fast Lane to Financial Freedom 2021.
Okay.
That's actually our first major event for the year. You know, Cameroonians have gone through a lot during this pandemic. For the past years, people have lost their jobs, people have been frustrated, and we are going to take this primarily to educate them, on guide them to invest in a secure way. We are going to also be showing them how to plan for a successful retirement. As we talk, as the CEO of Text Global said a while ago, that parents think that their children owe them something. So, but if you plan for your retirement very well, you will not have problems. We are also going to be offering agricultural investment opportunities to our participants. We are going to teach them financial intelligence and wealth mastery. So all these things are going to be happening for free. That's the gift that Text Global is giving to everybody. So if you don't have a Valentine's Day gift, that's just come to to Hotel Prince de Gare, 2 p.m. next Saturday, the 13th.
13th of
February.
Okay, I'm sure we're still going to talk about it on
Friday.
On Friday, yes. This seminar, you're going to teach people how to invest for free?
Yes. not invest for free. We're going to teach them for free how to invest. Okay, so we're going to give them some investment opportunities. We're going to create forum for networking. That means you get to meet people. You're going to have opportunity to talk about your business. Come there with your business cards. So you can tell people, this is what I do, this is my profession. You can get a contract for from there, nobody knows. So it's a special Valentine gift for everyone in Douala who is going to be there, because we'll give them all of this information for free. It's not a paid seminar, it's free.
Okay, our brother who said, how do you realize yourself? He wrote from Bekoko. Bekoko is here in Douala. So I hope you get to, Mr. Teke, to attend the seminar. Why do you dish out knowledge for free? You're already doing it here for free. Why do you do this? Is it that you are Jesus Christ? You want to help people?
You know.
Anyways, I'm sure that's the plan for what Mr. Buji said. That's the plan for Text Global.
It's a
you know, sometimes
21,000 people need to be impacted.
That's the plan. So we have strategies, and these strategies is not just to. The focus is not really about the money. It's about how many lives you can transform. And remember, when you transform these lives, it will still bring money in your pocket. So part of the strategy, I think last time we mentioned it, 21,000 people this year. So we have mapped out everything. Away from the program that Text Global is organizing, there's another program coming up on the 4th of April. The 12th of April, rather. 12th of April, here in Douala still. The Audacity of Success.
Okay.
And Mr. Teke will be on it. I think people who attended the Money Mastery program that passed, it was, I got so many calls. I think we had some videos. We had some interviews. I already submitted it there. It was really amazing, and so we are taking it.
They submitted there.
Yes, there are videos.
Okay.
Money Mastery.
Ella, I did not know there are videos. Can we listen to some of the testimonies?
Yes, the videos that have MS, the logo, Money Mastery.
Ella, can we listen to some of?
Hey lovely people, this is Berta Ebongo Mote, but I go with the name Betty Light. I'm a gospel artist, I'm a dancer, an MC, a talent coach, and a program organizer, and I am focused in promoting talent and a promoter as well. We can call it a blogger. So I'm so excited to be here today at Shep Academy because I've learned a lot of things, and I'll be giving you exactly what I learned today. And don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Okay, now talking about Shep Academy, I want to really talk about what I've learned today. Doing this Money Mastery class with Mr. Teke Samuel. He's an amazing personality, and he said in this 2021 he'll be targeting 2,000 youths and change their life. And indeed, I am a living testimony. I'm a living example of one of the students that he's impacting, and I must say I was just him in the road to accomplish this amazing vision. And today, during the Money Mastery class, Mr. Teke Samuel has taught us a lot of things about life, some impact things about life that blends alongside with biblical scriptures. And I think it's a necessity for us as you to know about it. And I must say that while being here today, I've learned a lot of things, and all those hidden dreams that I had within me, all the hidden talents, how I see life, how I see money and life, they're now different. I want to say that this 3 days program has really changed my life. From the first day, I started jotting down every dream that I've always had, every ways that I've always want to accomplish things, my purpose, my vision. I had to put them in writing. And I want to say that immediately after this day, I am looking for measures so far as to start accomplishing all these things. I want to say it's really blessed my life, and it's not just blessed me knowledge-wise, but I want to announce to you that I just got a job as a marketer of Shep Academy. It's such a privilege, and I must say, don't hide yourself back. Open up, come and learn. Shep Academy is here to train a lot of talented people. Maybe you have a talent there and you're wasting out there. People are using you like nothing, and you have good potentials. You keep influencing people, but nothing changes in your life. Trust me. Come to Shep Academy, and everything is changing.
Dr. Joseph Mambo, hail precisely from the subdivision, the Kokomondia, the Kwamwe village. I'm a teacher by profession, and started teaching in primary school, and then I decided to go to university where I studied educational administration right up to the level of a terminal degree. So I have a degree of education, a PhD in educational administration. So I'm an educationist, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you. I'm right here in Shep Academy, a prestigious institution where a 3 days training just finished. The training was money mastery skills, which I happened to be one of the participants, and I've learned a lot. Teaching you not only the concepts, not only the theories.
Okay, those are some of them. There are many of them. I did not know that these videos were there. We would have shared with our televiewers. Just got information now. That's why we are showing them late. We are already past the time allocated for this program. Mr. Teke, What are you telling our televiewers, that you are always there to coach them?
I'm always available. Like 2021 is dedicated to impact at least 21,000 people. So get me anytime you want to get me. I'm ready to coach you, to follow you up, and see how December 2021 will change your status.
Okay. Good evening. Kmer from Boya, please. I would like to ask Mr. Teke and Co. this question. Let me take it this way. If you suddenly get bad news, you are struck by a crisis in your business, you lose all your business fame, your popularity, and your team, and many, and you have to start business from group up. All you have left is your experience and ideas. You have to use this experience to start and build a thriving business afresh within 1 month. What will be your survival game plan? What step will you take to plan and recreate a business in your industry? Okay, we are out of time. Please, can you just call Mr. Teke?
Yeah.
After this, just call him. I'm sure he's going to answer you. Mr. Teke, please come and organize some seminars for us in Bamenda too. Don't forget also. Thanks in advance. I'm sure he has plans for Bamenda.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody must survive now.
Sure.
Yes. Where can we get that book here in Bamenda? I'm Linus, writing from Bali.
Okay.
Okay.
Second person.
Mr. Buju will make provision for that.
Okay. Evening, Mr. Leo and Mimi from Bamenda. Will they be having it also in Bamenda? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. It's Dio Isaac from Douala. I love your program, though I tune late, but the part I met is impactful. Okay, if you join us late, no, there's going to be rebroadcast of this program Monday 1 p.m. You can follow the full program on Monday 1 p.m. on my Media Prime TV. Just to say that we are grateful you came, Mr. Teke.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And also to you, Miss Lee. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
And not forgetting Mr. Buji. Yes. Okay. You can get more on this on our Twitter account at My Media Prime, and our Instagram account at My Media Prime. Also, you can follow some of the things we do here on our website www.btmediagroup.net. You can get most of the things we discuss in the house out here. We want to thank you, Desmond, and to you, Eli, and not forgetting you, Tabi Tambe Bryant, for producing this show. We say thank you. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.